Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. And I'm just cleaning up the last tree that we felled yesterday, and then we're going to start cutting them all up and loading them into that brand new trailer that we've got with our tractor over there. We also need to see if that tractor can actually pull this trailer, which is going to be the interesting bit of this little exercise. So what I have done previously is we've left these sort of long, and then they were overhanging. I'm going to change that today. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter, so that it'll lie right into the trailer. That's the idea, is I want them to go right into the trailer. It will mean losing a little bit of the money, but I don't think at this point it's really going to make that much of a huge difference. Might make a little bit of a difference. Anyway, my weekly question for this week is what condition would you like me to set for completing the map? What condition would you like me to set for completing the series and us being able to move on to the next series? It's going to be animal-based, so do we have and be completely self-sufficient for a set number of cows? So, you know, when I say completely self-sufficient, I mean we've got to be able to provide all the bedding, all of the food, and everything else that they could possibly need in order to be able to be kept alive. We can't be buying stuff in. So chickens, we've got to provide the right food for them. Pigs, we've got to provide everything for them. The only thing that I would say is that with pigs, we could possibly forego the little bit of root crop that they need. And that would be, I would be open for debate on that one, but the rest of them, we would have to provide everything they need because they don't need anything particularly complicated. The 5% that you require for pigs in order to be able to get them up that last little tiny bit, is a huge amount of work when it comes to root crops. So we could sort of be open to having the pigs at 95% instead of having to go that last 5% with the root crops, which is always something that I've sort of felt was a bit unnecessary anyway. But anyway, that's the choice. So we can go for cows, pigs, sheep, chickens, or we can have a mixture of all of the above, and we can have every single animal on the map, and I've got to get some of each. We won't set numbers yet. We'll talk about numbers after I find out what it is that you want. So it's your vote. It's your game. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. And just finishing up this one here. I think I may be cutting these a little bit small in places. Maybe not. Maybe not. Might be alright. That one I can't pick up. Cut that one a little bit longer. The other thing I wanted you to talk about that I said yesterday was I wanted to hear your views and opinions on what we should do with that tractor, because at the moment it's very, very underpowered. I changed the settings to about 25 horsepower. I may have had to tweak the gearbox as well in order for it to work a bit better, but so it's come out that the tractor is really weak and it can barely get up a hill on its own, let alone pulling anything. It's actually, I think, has worked out fairly well for us with, from a gameplay point of view, from a roleplay perspective. Because if we've just gone and spent $7,500 on a tractor, it's a relatively old and poor tractor. So it stands to reason that that tractor would not necessarily be in very good condition. And we've got to go and do some work in order to be able to get that tractor working once again. If they moved the thing, I can't see the green thing quite as clearly as I could previously. I don't know. So yeah, I can still see it, don't get me wrong, it's not quite as clear as it once was. So my original suggestion was that I fork out another chunk of cash, I edit it out of the XML file at the end of the episode, before next week. So I'll sort of go on your feedback and then also tweak the tractor to represent us spending some money on it and fixing it up. But then I had an idea sort of part way through, and that is that instead of spending a load of money on it, We will end up, it will end up costing us money, but mostly what it's going to cost us is time. We spend a bit of time fitting the tractor up. So we take a day out and we fit the tractor up. So I come along and I set the time scale on 120 times speed. So maybe we can cut down a tree and move a little bit just in the time that it takes from 7 in the morning until 8 p.m. when we have to go to bed again. We may have time to take a tree up and sell it, but we're not going to have time to do a lot else. And that would represent the time it's taken for us to repair the tractor ourselves. We've stripped it down, we've cleaned it all out, we've spent minimal amount of money on it, fortunately, but it has taken up a large amount of time, which we would otherwise have spent earning money. And this is very much like real life. You've got to sort of choose, do I go for a maintenance day and don't earn any money with my machinery? Or do I go for earning money with my machinery and don't have a maintenance day, which in turn could potentially lead to problems? So yeah, we've got these choices before us. Which ones do we use? And we've got that now. We've got that same choice with the tractor. Do we have a maintenance day, or do we leave it as it is, or do we instead just spend some money and pay someone else to do it? Yeah, I'm not really sure on that, but I mean, personally, I like the idea of leaving the tractor, just having like a day of 120 times speed, because we fit the tractor up ourselves. You know, I've always sort of I come from a sort of a family and that would have done that anyway. You know, we buy the old stuff and then we fix it up ourselves. And you can save a lot of money doing it. Yeah, you do sometimes have to spend a bit on spare parts and stuff like that, but generally speaking, you do save a lot of money. It's a much better way of doing it if you have the knowledge, if you have the know-how. I personally don't. I know very little about engines, mainly because I've never really had an interest in engines. I'm not particularly interested in fixing things up in the slightest. My dad has always done that, and then as I got older and I needed a car fixed up, I got him to do my car as well. And it wasn't just a case of, oh, I can't be bothered, Dad fixed my car. It was, my dad hates computers, right? He really hates them, but he has to use them from time to time. So we came to an arrangement where he would fix up my car and I would fix up his computer. And so it was a win-win situation for both of us. He got to do the bit that he liked, I got to do the bit that I liked, and we both had the things that we needed to be able to continue to function. And yeah, that was great and all. These days, I don't. These days, if I need my car fixed, I just take it to a garage because it's a lot quicker and easier. Although that does cost a lot of money, and sometimes I can't do that. So there are like the occasional job that I do try and barter with people in order to be able to get it done. And that is generally my favorite approach to maintenance of any kind of vehicle, is get someone else to do it. Find a way to get someone else to do it. I am not someone who is particularly adept at fixing engines in any way. Well, when I say I'm not particularly adept, I can change a wheel, and I know roughly where to find some of the basic bits on an engine, but beyond that, I'm really not a engine type of guy. I know nothing about them. I don't know anything about how to make them work. I don't know anything about how to take them apart and make them work. It's just a no-go for me. It just doesn't happen. Right, we're able to move. It's slow going. I don't know how accurately the game represents the weight of all the timber in the trailer, but we've at least got... it definitely does feel like there's some weight there. It was slower getting going then than it was previously, so I think that the... Well, we know it has weight. We know it has weight, because you when you pick it up and when you do other jobs with it, it definitely does have weight. So it's how much can I load into a trailer before it gets too much, before we've got to stop. The only disappointing thing that we've got, really, is that we don't have straps that we can put on it. That is the only disappointing thing about this, is that we're not able to put straps up over the top, when in real life you would be able to put straps of some kind on there. So it is a little bit disappointing. However, the fact that we can now hold on to the log so tightly does make a bit of a difference. Let me spin some of these around a little bit. There. Yeah, see, we can get the logs loaded in here, alright. It does sort of work. One thing that they don't do is they don't sort of fall in. There is quite a gap in between logs, I've noticed. I don't know if it's a phenomenon on this map or if it's just the game in general does that. I really don't know. Be interesting to find out one day if, you know, just see if it does it differently on other maps. I've never really paid any attention to it. I don't think it does. I think that you do get like little gaps in between the wood. It doesn't quite settle in properly. We've got a bit more space there. That one in. I'm very excited about this because I'm very excited to see how much money we're going to get from one trailer load, instead of having to go backwards and forwards loads of times with the really small trailer and the Mahindra. So I'm quite sort of this is something that I've been looking forward to doing for a while, being able to get this bit going. And then we've also got the next bit that we need to go for, which at the moment is just going to be the Manitou loader. That's going to be the next thing that we go for. And then once we've got... Right, let's go with that. Let's go with that. That is a fair load of timber that we got right there. I think that is a fair load of timber there. That is quite awesome. Is the tractor going to pull it? Does seem to. I'm going to have to watch very closely where the tree stumps are. Look at this, he's going. Whether or not he's actually able to get all the way up into the mill is a different matter entirely, because we've got that steep hill up there, and it went down to 1 mile an hour just trying to climb a hill on its own. So having the tractor with a little bit more power would be very, very awesome. But at the same time, that is very, very awesome anyway. Look at it. Look at it go. Let me just ease that up a bit. It's going quite quick round that corner. He's doing it though. And the logs haven't really shifted. I've noticed that when you leave the load alone, it doesn't tend to shift very much. It's like the game sort of locks it in place a little bit. So we got a run up going up here. I'm pretty sure we're going to need that run. Whoa. Okay, we're not going anywhere. We are not going anywhere with this load. Let me unhitch it. 1 mile an hour. Right, the big problem that we've got then is we can't get up this hill. Right, that is going to be the main issue that we've got, is we simply cannot get up this hill with a full load. We can put a part load. Now what I'm going to do is... Right, well I can do it like that. I can sort of cheat a little bit. Because it did pull it a little bit. It moved it a bit. Let me do that. It's actually sliding down the hill. But I'm pulling it forward as well, so... Ah, there we go. That's the way I need to do it. Right, I know that I'm abusing game mechanics now, but I think that it's probably going to be alright. Sort of thinking I should have just gone ahead and done the whole... We're going to boost the power of the tractor. Because this is what I'm essentially doing right now, is I've gone and got the Mahindra, and we stuck a rope on the front, and we're towing the two of them together. Right, so it's taking a bit of time to do this. So So you just have to imagine that we're doing that, because we did have this ability in FS17, because we could use that tow rope thing, and we could use the follow me mod as well. Unfortunately, we don't have either one at the moment, but it's something that we can kind of simulate doing this. I've got no way of being able to set the tractor continually driving while I push it with something else, just to give it a nudge. So I'm not able to do that at the moment, so this is the best I can get towards simulating that, and that's what we'll have to do. So we'll have to get it, we'll have to do another load like this as well. Go on, we can do this now. Is he going to get up there? Yes. Right. We've actually managed to do it. We've gotten all the way up the hill. And yes, it wasn't elegant. We had to do a gameplay mechanic abuse in order to be able to get it to work properly. But it did work. We did manage to do it. We've got the trailer up here with the load of logs on board. And now we can sell them. And what on earth was that noise? But yeah, I think that that was actually a realistic thing to do. Not the actual mechanic that I've used to do it, but saying that we got the Mahindra and we stuck a rope on the front, and then we used the Mahindra, the additional strength of the Mahindra, to tow both of them up the hill. So we had that tractor coupled with the Mahindra pulling the trailer up. That is realistic. I do think that we could have done it like that. And then someone from around here, you know, with the sawmill, they came along and they helped us out, because that's the sort of thing that if someone's working in a sawmill full-time like this, they wouldn't mind coming out and doing something like that. It's a bit of excitement in their day. They're not going to object. So we sell... Nice! $4,000 for that one load. So if we've got a bit more strength in the tractor, definitely going to start sort of being worth... the trailer. It's definitely worth the expense. It's just a bit of time at the moment to be able to get that load up here. Once we've got to the next point where we've got a stronger tractor, and you know we fitted this tractor up a bit, we'll be able to do several loads in a single episode without too much trouble at all. Now, I did cut up those 4 trees, I think it was, at the beginning of this episode. So we are having to cut the trees up a lot, right? So we're still having to do a lot of cutting up. And once we've got the... Right, actually, the first thing that we need to do is just stop that one. We need to make sure that they've got the Manitou at the dealership. So we need to lease that one. There, right. Now, we'll go over and we'll just take a quick look at this one. So this one over here, this is a permanent addition to the store over here, so that we can load up any pallets or anything like that. The leasing cost, we're not actually leasing it. So those of you who are a bit late to the series, we're not breaking our rule for no leasing, because we're not technically leasing this one at all. What we're doing is, this belongs to the store. We're not allowed to take it away from the store. We're not allowed to go and use it unless we're loading stuff here that we've bought in the store. We're using it to load onto our trailer. The leasing cost that you just seen is not anything to do with the store. That's our day-to-day expenses, running our chainsaw, so oil and stuff for the chainsaw, as well as food and stuff like that. And we've used up most of our supplies, so we just had to spend $2,000 on a whole load more supplies that we've now got at our tent. And now we'll just have a daily expense going out to cover the costs of various foods and bits like that. So that's what that expense is. We're not actually leasing that one at all. It's just... It might look like it, but it's not. It's just a figment of your imagination. So, there. Right. Anyway. What do we got here? We've got a few logs here. And... right, well, I've got a tree over here. But there's only one tree. Let me just chuck them up that way a bit. Like that. So, they're out of the way there. Then, I want to go over to this one. We'll start. We're sort of outlining the edge of where we're gonna have our field, but we've also got to keep in mind that even if we plant a field up, we can't do anything with the field until we've got the universal sell point. And the universal sell point, I set the price for us at $100,000. It's not going to be cheap. It's absolutely not going to be cheap to get the universal sell point. I've also got to go and find a universal sell point that will be suitable. I've had a few people give me some links to universal sell points that we can use for the series. But yeah, I do need to get one installed and available to use in the game. So that's another thing that I've still got to do. It's on my to-do list. I will do it. Don't worry. I will do it. Right, so we've got a little bit of timber right there. I'm thinking we go in a straight line down through here. So it's these 3 trees here that we're going to want. And chop these down a minute. Take that one down there. And I'm also wanting to get the auto-load trailer, but I'm saying that the tractor that we've got, even when we fully fitted that tractor up, we've spent our day repairing that tractor, it's not going to be strong enough to pull the auto-load trailer. So I want idea, which tractor do you think I should be getting to pull the auto-load trailer? I could, instead of getting the auto-load trailer just yet, we could get a tractor that has a front loader on it. And get the front loader, or we could just get the front loader itself for 60 grand. At the moment, the cheapest option I've got for any kind of tractor with a front loader is around 60 grand. We can get, it's a bit more than that, but we could get the Kramer, I think it's actually close to 80 grand with the front loader and the log grab and everything. We could get the Kramer front loader machine, put a log thingy on that one, and it's gonna be, then we'll be able to use that for like loading stuff up. We just wouldn't be able to use it for towing stuff. The only disadvantage to that is that then when we do want to go and get the auto load trailer or a bigger trailer, we're still going to need to buy another tractor, which takes us back to spending 80 grand on a tractor that we can put a log fork onto, and we can move bigger logs around. An intermediate point would be that X-lifter thing that we could use. And I know that quite a lot of you would like me to get that one, so that's kind of like an intermediate point, I think, at this moment. There's a lot of options. There are a huge number of options. So this tractor that we got at the moment is very useful. And it's definitely going to be useful for likes of using the what do you call it? The stump grinder. It's definitely going to be useful for using the stump grinder. We're going to want a stump grinder here. We're going to want to take out a whole load of different stumps everywhere. So having the tractor available to do that, and the stump grinder as well, that's going to be a good thing. We're going to want that here. Now, why aren't you cutting? There we go. So we can go and do that with our little 25 horsepower tractor, even after we fitted it up. So, I mean, with our, it'll be 35 to 40 horsepower by the time we've done the engine up. Some people have said that those tractors are supposed to be 33 horsepower. I might actually set it a little bit stronger than that in the game, just so that it pulls a little bit better, because I think actually setting it on 33 horsepower might make it a bit underpowered. So I'll go slightly higher on that. I'm hoping also sometime very soon, I don't know if I'll have time this week at the rate things are going, to do a series of very short videos on how to alter capacity on grain trailers and things like that, how to alter speed, how to alter the engine strength, and various things like that. I've had quite a few people asking me if I could do that, because I did do one video that sort of went over that previously. So what I thought I'd do this time is I'd do a series of really short videos. Is simply, you do this to alter the speed, you do this to alter the capacity, you do this to alter, I don't know what else people wanted me to show. Speed, capacity of trailers, editing the money in the game files, and there was another one, I'm sure of it. You know, I honestly can't remember. I think maybe unloading speed on trailers and combines and stuff like that. That could be another one that people wanted me to do. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I'm planning to do like just a series of quick, really short videos showing all of those little details that a lot of people have been asking for. So hopefully I'll at least get 1 or 2 of them done this week. I don't know how many though. So don't hold your breath for that. It might not turn up. It might be another week or 2. It does really depend on how much time I can find, and that does seem to be in a bit of short supply at times. Right, we've got a few bits in there. I think I only had 3, so let's start chucking in as many logs as we can into this trailer. We're only going to get 1 more load in today, I think, because of the amount of time that it takes to empty it. Most of our time is taken up, actually. I think we're cutting the logs up small enough to pick up. So this is the bit that we want to be able to change. We want to pick things up faster, and we want to be able to like move things faster. So if we've got a tractor that can pick up whole trees, in theory that should be better. But the thing with picking up the whole trees that I'm not so sure about is, well, we can't really put them on this trailer, because this trailer, even when you change the configuration options, it doesn't have an open back on it. So this trailer's not particularly suited to it. We could just pick the logs up 1 or 2 at a time and run them with the tractor straight up, but then you're having to carry them the wrong way. So we need to be able to load them onto a trailer, which means that we might actually have to consider selling this trailer and buying a different one. Or just getting a different trailer as well, because this is a good grain trailer. We have a look in here a second, because at the moment you've got very little in the way of options. Like this trailer here doesn't come with a change of capacity or anything like that, right? You've got that really short one right there, and then this one does come with the option, but the only bit that I don't like is that you don't have the option for removing the back. So nothing's going to stick out over it anyway. But if we go... Hang on, what have we got? Configurable options. I think that one's too small as well. What's that? That's bale loading. They've done the same with that one. Bale... Oh, no, they haven't. That one there, you've got that option like that. But it's quite a short trailer, and it is still 12,700. So it's quite an expensive trailer. And then you've got the Cramper Bandit right there, which does look very cool, but it only goes up like that. You've got this here, 29,000. I quite like the roof on it that it's got there. 28,400, 38,000, 42, and then you got that lid on it like that, which is, it does make it look very cool. But anyway, so it's not those that we would want. If we're going to go for a trailer, just a flat trailer that we could put some bales on, then really we'd be looking at that one right there. 16 grand for that one, but we would at least be able to lay the logs along that one there. It's a bit expensive. 16,000 that is, 17,500 with that. Or we go into forestry equipment and we go into here and we go for something like that. That one there is 19,000. It's 28,000 for one of those. By the time we get a trailer, a tractor that is able to have a loader on it, right, it's going to cost us quite a lot of money. So getting the auto load thing, it might be that we just go for that one. Because that being 19,000, it's not a lot of difference between the two. I am going to be getting auto load at some point because I don't want to spend all of my time just doing this. And we may not, I mean, maybe we could just not use auto load for a bit to start with. We could just get the trailer and we could load it up, say the first 3 loads. We've got to load it manually or something. I'm not really sure, but we're going to need to move a lot of timber, and I don't want to spend like 2 months playing this game just shifting timber, because it's going to get boring for everybody involved, me as well as you. So if we sort of get to the point where we've got a tractor and we've got a tractor that's got a front loader on it and an auto load trailer that can go alongside that, we've then reached a point where you know, we could just go and load them all manually, or we can just say, you know what, we've done all of that, we've done that messing around, so then we can get on and fell a load of trees, and we can just start using the auto load bit. It might just be a little bit easier. Easier for everybody involved. We're also going to have to, if we're getting a tractor and we're not doing it with a lorry, we're going to need to get a dolly to go with it. That's another expense that we've got to look at. So before the trailer itself is about 26,000, isn't it? Then you've got to get a dolly, so that's putting our cost up to about 30 grand. And then on top of that, you're looking at the tractor with the loader, and that's where it starts to get prohibitively expensive, because you're looking at $80,000 for that. So we're looking at about $120,000 in order to be able to get the tractor that can pull the trailer and the auto load trailer itself, so that then we can start selling the bigger pieces of timber. Now, have I picked everything up down here for a minute? I think I have. So we will start this one back up. Now, at the moment, we can do this. And when we've upgraded this tractor ever so slightly, we might be able to get that X lifter and start using that one. We may even be able to alter the capacity of the trailer. So one of the next things we get is the workshop back here at the farm back here, so that we can start altering the configuration on the trailer to suit our day-to-day needs. So I could cut the logs slightly longer, but not so long that they don't fit on the trailer, and then we can use the X-lifter thing to get them onto the trailer using the tractor. Maybe that's an option. Maybe we could look into doing it like that. It's certainly, we would be able to put some bigger logs into it. It's just how much we could do. I mean, we may not even need to, like, configure the trailer. We may be able to just get the X-lifter and put some slightly bigger logs into that trailer if we have them going sideways on. So to pick them up like that with the X-lifter and then back up, because it'll reach high enough to load them into the trailer, and then we hook the tractor onto the front and we're away. We've got a nice full load of logs that we can take straight up to the mill. All of these are options. All of these are like potential options, and all I'm really sort of doing at the moment is just suggesting different alternatives for what we might try. And then you guys can give me a load of feedback this week, and I will do my best to sort of work on what you've said for next week. Because this is for this series, unfortunately, I do have to get everything recorded before the first one of each week goes live. Most of you know this by now, so all I can do is sort of go on last week's feedback about what I got, the levels of realism that some of you like and don't like, and just kind of adjust my gameplay according to that and hope that I've sort of guesstimated it correctly. And I think at the moment I'm doing kind of okay with it. We'll see. Let me get that bit there, so we've got this massive, great big load up there. So yeah, once again, we will be doing the little trick by using the Mahindra with a rope, and we'll rope someone in. You see what I did there? We'll rope someone in from the sawmill who will help us out with a bit of the loading as well, because a bit of excitement for his day. So it's going to give him something to do. Quite frankly, he's only going to just be bored, hanging around, not doing anything. And that's one thing that I'm not so keen on, is the way that the logs sit like that sometimes. Right, you're all sat up there. I don't think we're going to try and put any more in there. I think that is a fair load. That is a fair load. We've got one more there. Haven't really got any. Ooh, might be able to put it up onto there, look. Right in there, look at that. Perfect. I was able to get one more in. I knew I could do it. And now we've got to get out of here without tipping our trailer over or anything ridiculous like that. I loaded 3 or 4 smaller trees down there, plus I came up here and loaded a load more. So I'm able to cut down several trees and load onto this tractor before I need to sort of set off. And I'm wondering if we had the X-lifter and we were loading these logs in, it didn't seem to like, when we were first experimenting with it, it didn't seem to like doing more than one log at a time. You pick up more than one log and they start dancing around very crazily, and that's going to slow us down. So is it going to offset, by loading the longer logs, is it going to offset the amount of money that we have to spend, the amount of time, sorry, that we have to spend loading it all up? Because that is a lot of time. We're going to have to spend a huge amount of time loading this thing up if we're going to use longer logs and go for the X-lifter type thing. Right, so we get to here, and now what we got to do is just keep doing it like this. I just keep the cruise control going, and just keep pulling it up like that. There, so we've got the Mahindra on the front. The Mahindra is being driven as well. We're driving our Mahindra because that's our most expensive vehicle, and then the guy who offered to help out, he's helping out by driving the tractor here. We're not actually unhitching and hitching the trailer back on. That is just a figment of your imagination. If you think you can see that, yeah, it's just a figment of your imagination. You're probably overtired. You need some rest. So I would strongly recommend that you do get some rest. After the video is finished, of course. After the video is finished. So we'll drag this one up here. We're down to $3,000, but we have gone and... I think one more. We'll just about do it. Oh no, a couple more. We're going to need to do a couple more. We have gone and got the our supplies. So that's all taken care of now. We've got that little bit of extra expense that's going to happen. There we go. There we go. We've made it. It's a little bit slow. Just creeping up through there. A little bit slow, but it's doing it. It's doing a wonderful job. Ha ha! Right. We won't really have time to do any more logs today, but I mean, I could go and cut down a few more trees, I suppose, just before we finish up. And then we'll drive back over to our tent. So let's stop there. Brake hard. Throw all the logs out. And we've got another $4,000 worth of timber. Absolutely fantastic. So we've made $8,000 today with 2 loads. If our tractor is a little bit fast, well, not faster. We don't want it faster. We don't want the tractor to be going faster than it is. It doesn't need to be going faster. We'll just put that in there and sell that one as well. There's another $117. That's not bad. We don't want the tractor to go faster. It's not going to go faster. But if it's stronger, if it's got more horses under the bonnet, it will be able to move the trailer a little bit quicker. And we could... you know, we could get as many as 3 loads done. And that's gonna give us a good $12,000, which, if we're taking the time to fix the tractor ourselves, we could be glad of that extra money coming in, quite frankly. We could be really glad of it. We got a little bit of time now before nightfall. We could go and cut down a few more trees. So I think what I'll do, rather than worrying about driving this one all the way back over to the tent, I'm going to just park this one up here, right there, and then we'll run over this way and we'll get the Mahindra and we'll drive this one back to our tent a minute. So that one can be over there, and then we'll walk over, and because the Mahindra can stay over here for a minute, we're not going to be using it for a little while. I mean, I suppose we could put the trailer onto this one and do it, but I don't really want to do that. Because we've already done that, and it doesn't sort of feel like it's necessary. Ooh, steady, steady. It would help if I turned the wheel the right way. There, let's try that. Just for a bit of novelty value. Start cutting down some of these. So I'll carry on cutting the line of trees that I was looking at previously, which was... pretty much straight through here. I've got where that rock comes out. I wanted to go in roughly a straight line. I think we could take that one down because, yeah, we can sort of have a little curve out beside this big rock. That rock is going to decide the boundary of one of the fields. We got no choice on that. And then we're sort of looking at bringing it along here. So we want to take this one down here. Chop you over. And then we're heading out this way. I want to take that one down. And that's going to be most of it, I think. We've got these others here, which are marking additional, it is additional trees there. But I don't think we need to worry about taking them down. I might take that one down, just because it's really close. And I would rather fell a big tree like that now, while we don't have things in the way, rather than coming back to it later on and potentially accidentally knocking it down onto something that we want to keep. We could really do without that. Right, you I've already cut. So let me do it like that. There. And put a slice out there. Like that. There we go. Right. I can drop a tree on my own head. Okay. I'll just dump that one down there. So we've got those felled there, which means I can now start moving back through this way and felling a few of these. I'll do a couple more minutes of felling trees. My weekly question this week is about the animals. What would you like as the completion scenario for this map? What do you want me to accomplish before I'm allowed to leave and we say that we have actually done everything we set out to do? Do you want me to get a set number of cows on the map? I'm doing it with animals, so we're not going for like a set number of hectares or a set number of hours or a set amount of grain produced or anything like that. It's going to be animals. We have to have a set number of animals on the map and we have to be able to provide for them. So, what animals do you want it? Do you want me to have a set number of cows, a set number of sheep, a set number of chickens, pigs, or do you want me to have a mixture of all of the 4 animals? And we have to get some of each. I'm not setting numbers at the moment because I need to find out what it is that you want first. Then we'll worry about numbers afterwards. Once we've got the animal in question decided, then we'll worry about the numbers and how many of each, or how many of the single one that you pick that we've got to get, and how long we got to spend sort of working towards that. We can all well, yeah, you kind of get the idea. It's which animal do you want? So cows, pigs, sheep, chickens, or all of the above. We can have a mixture of everything and just, rather than going, say, 400 cows, we go for 100 cows and 200 sheep, etc., etc. So it's your vote. It's your game. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And, of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. Let's bring that over there. So, yeah, most important in the comment section today and yesterday as well. If you didn't yesterday, it also counts for yesterday. What do you want me to do with this tractor? Do I take a day out and we repair it ourselves? So we don't actually, I'm not going to edit the XML file if I do it that way. I'll simply leave the XML file as it is. We'll leave our money as it is. We won't touch that. But what I will do is in the morning, the first thing we'll do is we'll put the timescale on 120 times speed and we'll leave it on that for 1 full day, which means we're not going to get a great deal done in that day, are we? We're not going to get a great deal done at all, but I feel that would accurately represent us spending the majority of the day having to repair the tractor and getting it up to speed so that it's then got a decent engine on it and we don't have to have anybody helping us tow it up that hill at the sawmill. And then the following day, obviously we're going to have to play a bit of catch-up with our money. Which shouldn't be too bad. It should be a lot easier. We've got a fair bit of timber on the ground. I am going to have to cut all these logs up, but we'll do that another time. And then we've got a load of timber that we can go and sell, and we'll make a bit of money. We should already have covered one of our daily costs already, one of our loan repayments. We got $7,000 right here, so we're doing all right for it. We've just got to get a little bit more. And then we've also got to decide what we're going for next. Stump grinder is coming in pretty soon, but we've also got to sort of figure out how we're going to progress. So I will read all of your thoughts and your feedback on this week's episodes, and I will do my best to try and act on that next week. We'll see what we can come up with. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below. This is really bugging me. It's really, really bugging me that I can't cut that one little bit off there. Right. So if you enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, I'll just chop this one down. There we go. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later. Oh, I almost forgot. One thing I just need to say. We have the Discord channel now, or we should have if everything has gone well, because it's still not live for me while I'm recording this. So there is a link in the description down below to a short video describing what each of the different bits in the Discord do. You need to go to that video, and then there'll be a link under that video for the actual Discord channel itself. We're doing it this way so there is no excuses for people saying they didn't know what to post and where, and they didn't know what the basic rules of Discord was, and so on and so forth. So yeah, if you want to join the Discord, head down below and follow that link and go and watch the other video, and there's a link in there. And we're also always on the lookout for people that are interested in helping out with the moderating on there and in other areas of the channel. So you can find more details on the Discord channel, and you can speak to Jimmy J or Smudo, the admins on there, about what might be involved with becoming a moderator as well. Yeah, that is all. I should have included that in the actual video. Bye!